Yo, bro, I have no idea what I want to play. Yeah, it's wiki. That game's dead. Raft, I have no friends.
Why the fuck do you have 20 hours on Placid Plastic Duck Simulator?
Placid Plastic Duck Simulator tier list. We have about 75 ducks, and I'm going to go and rank them today. First up, we have the Glam Rock Duck, which I no special abilities, just poor design in my opinion. I'm putting that in C. The Paper Doodle Duck, I really do not like the design. I know it's supposed to be like a kid's drawing, but I just think it's ugly, and it's probably my least favorite out of all the ducks that can be set on fire. The Sakura Duck, I mean, it's good, but it's not much. So I'll put it above the Glamrock duck just because it's kind of cleaner, but it's nothing else besides a blue duck with pink accents. Here's the graffiti duck. I think the design is great. It's just a basic duck, but along with that, it just comes with fun design features, and I do like it a lot. So I'll put that at B right now. Submarine duck. I can't decide whether I like or dislike the design with just everything that's going on with it, but the ability is great, so I'll definitely keep that at the top of B for now. We have the bee duck. I think the design is cute, and the whole interaction with the flower pot duck, which we'll be seeing soon, is really interesting and funny. So I'll put the top of B because I like the design more than submarine, and I think the ability is funnier but kind of less cool. Solar panel duck. It's nothing more than just kind of changing the colors and doing a different design. So I'll put it above these two because at least it's kind of different. I don't know. Next up, we have our first S tier. I love the big head duck. I love the design. I love its whole thing where it just can't keep balance. I think it's so funny. It's an instant S tier for me. And next up, we have one of, if not my favorite duck in the whole game, the chameleon duck. Its gimmick is just so interesting. I just when I found it, I didn't think it was much. I thought it was a tennis ball duck when I first discovered it in the game. But then, and when every single time it hits something, it changes, and it's just really interesting to me. And that's probably gonna stay up there. Honestly, might be the best in the game. We have the skeleton duck. Doesn't have any special abilities, but definitely one of my favorites in the whole entire game, just based on design wise. So I'm definitely putting that in A tier. What what is this thing? Is that it's not basic? Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, my instant reaction to seeing this on the tier list really shows my thoughts on this. It's the Band-Aid duck. It's really nothing. It's just a basic duck, but in uglier yellow, and it has a Band-Aid on its head, and so I just not a good duck for me. Instant D tier. Except the sad duck. I'm I'll put it in C tier. Honestly, I mean nothing special, but it's okay. The Kitsugi duck. The design is okay. It's not one of my favorites, and it doesn't have any special properties, so I'll just put it there. The unicorn duck. The design is pretty good, and the popping floaties is funny, but there's another duck coming up that also pops floaties, and I think it's not a better design, but it's definitely funnier. So I'll put this up in B. Here we have the sponge cheese moon duck. I don't. It's weirdly realistic, but not at the same time, and it just doesn't fit in. I'll put this in D tier. Same with the crystal duck. It's just the pattern is just way too different from the other art, like just the rest of the art style in the game, and it just doesn't fit in. It's not even a good design. The pixel shades duck. I know it's just a basic duck with shades, but it's perfect. It's just amazing. I love this thing. It's just it's a duck with pixel shades. What more are you gonna get, honestly? The moss duck. It's there's a lot. There's some lazy color recolorations in this game, but this is just a lazy recoloration with a just not good looking texture. I don't like it at all. The fancy duck is going at the top of A tier. Again, it's another basic duck, but it It's a basic duck that smokes a pipe when just the bubbles come out, and it's just he's so fancy. I love him. The ice cream duck. I'll put it up in B. The design is good. It's not lazy. It's solid. I'll put it there. The basic black duck. It's just a lazy recoloration. I mean, I'll put it down in the middle of C. There's nothing more to it. The disco ball duck. I'd love to put it up in A, but just the fact that it looks basic like that during daytime, I'll put it at the top of B just because at nighttime it's awesome, but the other just daytime it just doesn't look good. Here's the egg duck. I don't like the design. It's nothing special and I just don't like the design. I'll put it above Glamrock but underneath the Kitsugi duck. Yeah. Oh, the magnet duck. I'll put these two together and I'll put them in the middle of B tier. Yeah, since their their designs are pretty okay, but their abilities are funny with just the fact that they attract to each other, and they're funny. I like these two. Here we have the black and white cartoon duck. It's got a good design and it helps unlock the door with the code in one of the maps. So I'll put it at the bottom of S just because it helps you unlock something in the game and it's got a good design. So I'll put it at the bottom of S. The flower pattern duck, I'll put it with the just designs that I don't like since it's nothing special. That's it. The lava duck, I'm putting this up in A tier. The design isn't anything special, but the fact that I can just set things on fire is awesome. And I love this thing. It's so fun. Rainbow duck. Again, lazy redesign, color, top of C tier. Kiss duck, good design, classic, creative, I guess, but the sound design on its the interaction sounds cool. Green duck, it's a lazy recolor, nothing special. Firefighter duck is going in the S tier. It's a duck in a firefighter outfit, and it puts out the fires. I love this thing. The water is so strong it pushes it back. It's a great duck. I love it. What is this thing called again? 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 What's this thing called again? I forgot the name. Oh, okay. The foul duck, it's to me the same thing as the glam rock duck. There's nothing that special about it. The design isn't good, and it's a lazy redesign with added just ugliness to it. It's King of Hearts. It's good concept, right? Really good concept for a design. I just don't personally like it. Lazy recolor, lazy design, huge missed potential. I'm putting this in the bottom. It's a lightning duck and it doesn't have anything special about it. It doesn't even glow in the dark or anything like that. It's not good. It's not a good duck. Have the imposter duck. I'm putting it beneath the chameleon. Just I love the chameleon, but the imposter duck is so good. Just the idea that you start seeing it as the basic duck, but slowly but surely the paint fades away and reveals. It's just so good. The concept's awesome. I love it. I love that damn thing. We have the alien duck going straight to A tier. It's a good design, great. It's a good interaction sound, different from the rest, and it's the basic starter duck on the space map. So that it's great. I'll put it in A tier. We have another just print on design. Put it with the rest of them. Not good. The classic duck. Okay, where am I gonna put this thing? Top of A tier. I mean, it's a rubber duck. That's the spot it deserves. You can't get better. You can't get worse. It's the classic duck. The dragon duck. It breathes fire. That's awesome, but it's such wasted potential. You have a dragon duck and you make it look like a frog or like a lizard. It's just it's so much missed potential, but it breathes fire, so it's cool. I'll keep it in B. Cow duck, lazy print, nothing more, nothing less. Secret Agent Duck. It's probably my favorite design duck that doesn't have a special ability. So I'll put it at the top of A. I can't put it in S because it doesn't even have a different sound. But just I love it. It's awesome. I love the Secret Agent Duck. The Golden Duck, I'll put it at the top of C tier just because yes, it's just a print, but at least it's metallic, it shines in the sun. It's fine. The Panda Duck. This is going straight to the bottom. How I talked about like the missed potential with the Lightning Duck, do you want this is the biggest missed potential out of all of them. It's not I can't you had the opportunity to make a cute panda duck and that's what you do with it. It's just not good. It's bad. Like the cow duck, at least it's cow print. How is this a panda duck? It's just I hate it. I don't this is probably my least favorite duck. Clown duck. I'll put this up in B tier. Can it wait? Because I know that it sprays water out of its flower, but if it can put out fire, I'll put it in A tier. Oh, it can. It can, and it has the sound. This thing does it all. I mean, the design. It's a clown, but I'll put it in A. Yeah, it does. It has a lot of special abilities with that. I'll put that confidently in the A tier. Polka dot duck. I again lazy recoloring. Here we go. I talked about this thing in the beginning when we were talking about the bee duck. I'll put it up with it because yes, I mean it's kind of like the alien duck, but it just has a pot. I'll put it up here just because I mean they work together. The bee attracts to the pot. I like it. I like it. The cactus duck. It's just a red duck with ugly cactus print on it. I'll put this thing's going in D tier. I don't like it. It's not good. They could have made it a cactus. Like they had again with a cactus duck, you have some potential to do something cool. But instead, you just make it a duck with an ugly red and with green, and it doesn't even pop. Like it could pop inflatables, like the unicorn duck. Like it just not. It's so much wasted potential with this thing. We have the psychedelic duck, which is just a printed design, but it's a cool one. So that's going in B tier. The math print duck, it's lame. If it would have been at least somewhat better if they just kept it glowing like that, but it's just lame. Nothing special about it. This right here is going in the B tier. I know it might seem just like a white duck, but this is the glow in the dark duck. Putting it next to the disco ball because it's the same sort of idea. And during day, lame. At night, it's great to look at. Very cool duck. Here comes one of my favorites, the rocket duck. It just launches the firework. It's fun. I love this thing. It gets you an achievement. It's got a good coloring, the glowing eyes, just the firework in general. It's great. Here we have the strawberry duck. I mean, I like it, but it's not special, so it's going in C tier. This is the candle duck. This is a good showing of how to burn stuff. I mean, it does exactly what it is. He's sleepy, he has the candle, it lights things on fire, and it melts things. I mean, it's a very good duck. Here's the manga duck. I'll put it in B tier. I mean, look at it. There's no explanation needed. Now here is probably my stupidest take in the video. I love the knife duck. It's the regular duck with a knife. You want a good duck that pops things? You go for the knife duck. You want a bad duck that pops things, or a mid duck that pops things? You go with the unicorn. It's a duck with a knife. What else can I tell you? It's phenomenal. I adore this thing. The 8-ball duck, basic. Another random black duck that has something, just a little special thing about it. Here we have I think it's called the aluminum gummy duck, I believe. I'll put it with gold for that sort of metallic feel, glistening in the sun. But besides that, it's just a recolor. Coming up, we have the fractured duck again. Just nothing special about it. I'm going to rank these together since they are two of my favorites for no reason other than just stupid and funny. The mar the marble duck and the stone duck. They just float to the bottom. Like they just like, die in the bottom of the pool, and I think it's funny. Like they're like design wise, it's going in C tier. Like they're very similar to the fractured duck, but they fall to the bottom, and I think it's funny. It shouldn't be funny. It's not funny, but I love it. Tiger duck again, just like the cow duck. Animal print basic. Plaid duck. I'm putting this in B tier. This one and another one coming up near the end is how you do a flammable duck done right. I'll put it right in front of the unicorn. It's basic, but it's a solid design. Like some of the ones down here, basic but solid. But it's a duck that's got a good design and can be set on fire. Unlike the doodle duck, which is a bad design, it can be set on fire. But plaid duck going in B tier. I don't like the design, but it's really unique. The fact that when you name it correctly, it puts all the posters everywhere is very unique. But the design's all over the place. Like I'll put it with the psychedelic duck, but its gimmick is great. The design is just okay for me. Spiral duck, again, just imprinted design, but it's unique, but it's also not. Like it's not unique enough to go. It's not unique enough to go up into B tier, so it's gonna stay in C. Here we have one of my favorites out of the originals, non-DLC, the wireframe duck. The design is fantastic, and it glows in the dark, and it's just I love this thing. It's a great duck. The wireframe duck is fantastic. The baseball duck, again, basic, but it has a signature. They put some attention to detail instead of just imprinting a design. The watermelon duck, I'm putting it with the strawberry, just basic design, nothing special. Next up, we have the Calavera duck, which is a good representation in duck form of the Calavera skulls, but it doesn't do much besides that. So I'll put it with the good design ducks. It's a good design. I like it. Wood duck. I'll put it with the plaid, which is a good designed duck that can be set on fire. This is a very good representation, which the moss duck fails to do, which is just showing the material well. I mean, it looks like a wooden duck, and it makes sense that it can be set on fire. And I like it. B tier is where it belongs with the plaid duck. Final duck for the list is the shit. Put it back. Fuck. Our final duck for the list is the hat propeller duck, and I'll put it with the fancy duck. Because yes, it's just a duck and a hat, but it can also fly up, and I'm very close to just putting it in S tier, but it's just a duck with a hat. And it just, watching it sometimes fly up is funny, so I'll put it in the A tier. And that right there, viewers, is the Noah Does Life Placid Plastic Duck Simulator tier list. If you guys enjoyed, please... Wait, what's that? Is that the Noah Does Life book?